Good morning, friends. In the previous lecture, we studied about chapter number 2, that was the polynomials, right? Now, in today's lecture, we are going to start with the next topic, that is chapter number 3, coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. The term coordinate geometry. Listening to this, it is very simple, and you might also seem that so this word is very difficult to understand. What is the meaning of coordinate geometry? In Gujarati, if you might have heard, this coordinate geometry in Gujarati is known as Yam Bhumiti. Right? Yam Bhumiti. Yam, that means coordinate, and Bhumiti, that means geometry. But we are not going to discuss in Gujarati here. Friends, I just told you that what it is known as in Gujarati. Here, coordinate means to adjust the things in a proper way. This is known as coordinate. To adjust the things in a proper way. Sometimes we ask the people to be in coordination with other people. In coordination with other people, that means to be adjusted with some of the people in a way that they can easily match with each other. Here, coordinate means to adjust the things in a proper way, and geometry simply means to place them in a proper way. This is the simplest meaning of geometry, to place them in a place. That means you need to fix them, right? You need to fix them. Now, combining these both, we can say to adjust and place a thing in a proper way, that is combinedly known as the coordinate geometry, right? So that was the meaning. The combined meaning is to adjust and place the thing, anything that we need in a proper way, that is known as the coordinate geometry. Now, what does it relate to? What does this relate to? So basically, coordinate geometry relates with an address. You can say that the coordinate geometry basically relates to an address. Now, address, what do you mean by address? It is not like our home address, or it is not like our school address, not like our office address, but in general it is relating to the address. Suppose if I want to say that right now I live in a place, or I live in a house which is located on the 13th street of the Park Avenue, or you can say that the 13th street and block number 10, right? So in the avenue or in a locality, if I say that this is my locality here, right, there are some streets over here like this, right? There are some streets over here that goes in the horizontal way, so that is street number 1, street number 2, street number 3, and so on. These are all my streets, and the block numbers are arranged vertically. That means block number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. So this will be my blocks here. They are arranged in a locality like this. For example, if we take the best example of a row house township, row house township, you can see that there are so many streets. As we enter in a gate, right? Suppose if I say that this is the gate from where I am going to enter, and there are some houses here, we can go like this and we can enter into any of the streets to reach to our house. Now, if I say, for example, that my house is located in the 3rd street with block number 6, right? Block number 6 and 3rd street. So first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to reach to the third street, yes or no, and then we are going to look for block number 6 there. We cannot look for block number 6 in each and every streets, that is that our home or not, right, because it will take too much time. But we know a reference that it is located, the block number 6 that we need to reach is located in the third street. So first of all, we shall go 1 2 3 the third street, and there we shall look for 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 for block number 6, right? So friends, this location here, this location, this is my house here, house 6 street 3, right? This is my house here, is having a location that is unique, right? This house number 6 on street number 3 will be unique because there will be no other house with the same block number. You can see it like this, right? So this will be unique here. This is the location of my house. So anyone, if I say that in this and this township, come to block number 6 street number 3, then they will directly reach here, right? So to represent this kind of locations, we require the coordinate geometry, right? For example, let me take another example. This was the first one of house. Now you might have gone to watch a movie, right? This is the second example. Let me say that this was the first example of the house. The second example, see friends, these are random examples which leads us to the main topic, that is coordinate geometry, right? Movie. Let me say that I bought a movie ticket for any of the movie. Let us, for example, say war, right? Some interesting characters were there in this. Hrithik Roshan, then we had Tiger Shroff, then there were some other, I don't remember the exact names of each and every, but I remember these two names because one of them is my favorite. So I'm having a movie ticket to the war. Then I bought a ticket, and on the movie ticket I got a seat number that was F11, right? F11 means, first of all, what I need to do, I need to enter the movie theater. Exactly friends, I need to first of all enter the movie theater. So let us say this is my movie theater and the screen is here, all eyes this way. If you see a movie theater on the online application, online ticket booking application, you will read here that all eyes this way, right? So that means the screen will be here. Now the screen is here and there will be some seat rows here. They will go like this in the horizontal way, right? If you clearly notice friends that these seat numbers are having unique, these rows are having unique identification marks. That means the first row is marked A, the second row is marked B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and whatever up to it is going, right? So each and every rows are marked with unique identification alphabets, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and the seats in each of these rows are marked with unique identification numerals or numbers. Let me say that here the first seat will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right? So there are 16 seats in a single row and there will be some passage in between. So we are neglecting that passage area and all that. So there will be similar these columns of each and every seats here. Yes or no friends, right? So this is basically how a theater is being planned. That means this will form here a mesh type area. Mesh, that means net, right? What type of area it is forming? That is a mesh or net type area. Now what I need to go here is I'm having an address. My seat number is F11. So first of all, what I will do here is, I will not look for number 11, friends. First of all, I shall look for the row F, or I shall look for the F. So that leads me to this row here, right? That is my F. So I am looking for this here, row number F, right? And this row number F will have some seats on it, right? Now I shall look for 11. That means 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11. So here, coming to this, that means 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11. So I shall look for the seat number 11 in the F row, or row number F, which leads me to the seat 11. So this location here, the seat that I am going to sit here and watch the entire movie, is F11. That means here it is exactly at the center, exactly at the center. That means it is somewhat to the center and the back part. So that is F11, that is seat number F11. So in this way you can locate the address here, right? So this was the address, but this is the things that we go to the general aspect. General aspect, that means if I want to give you my address, then I shall give you that in this township, come to block number 6 or house number 6 and the 3rd street. So you can directly come over there. When I say that I want to sit in the seat number F11 and watch the movie, then I can go here in the F row and the seat number 11. But whenever, if we want to go to some place that is unknown to us, that does not have any address, then at that time what to do? At that time, these each and every addresses, these each and every locations that is available to us are being described in a point, that means in the form of a coordinate, right? Suppose now, for example, if I put this entire thing on a graph, let us say for example on a graph, then what will this lead us? That first of all, this location here, whenever we relate this on the graph, will be written in a coordinate form, which will be written in a point form, which has two coordinates. The first one relates to the the first one relates to the column. So the column here is 6, right? And the second one relates to the row, and that is 3. So if I say that 6, 3 in a township, that is 6, 3. So first of all, we shall look for the 3rd row and the 6th column, or we shall look for the 6th column in the 3rd row. It is clear, right? So this house number 6 and street number 3, sometimes you come to an introduction to some jokes, that means stupid peoples, right? If I ask them what is the time right now, they will call, if it is 9 past 10, right, then they will call it is 50 minutes to 10. So these are the stupid peoples, they don't give you proper answer. Sometimes if I ask you the address, you will say that in a township, come to 6, 3. What is the 6, 3, man? We don't understand what is the 6, 3, as you see, because you know what is 6, 3. We don't know what is 6, 3. Right? So these locations, whenever we put them on the graph, then that graph relates us to these points, and these points, whenever located on a graph paper, the first coordinate, these are known as the coordinates that we are going to study in the next thing, right? These are known as the coordinates. So the first point, the first number, the first alphabet letter, whatever the thing here that is written in the round brackets, leads us to the column, and the second one leads us to the row. So if you come to that, then again that will be 6, 3. In the same way we can also write it here, right? So in the same way, if I want to write down this, that is 11 comma f, right? 11 comma f. So first of all, what we are going to look for the column, then we are going to look for the row. So in the 11th column and fth row, or we are going to look for the f row number f and column number 11, so that it leads me to this location, which is my required street. Is this thing clear, friends? So this was the basic concept behind the coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry basically relates to an address. That means if we want to get the location of any particular thing that is present to us physically, then we can relate them by the coordinate geometry, right? So these were the two best examples that was available with me, and which are for the coordinate geometry. Now in the next thing, friends, we are going to study about the Cartesian system. As I said that whenever these ideas that we are having here, the first one is the idea of a house, the second one is the idea of a movie theater or movie hall, that ideas, whenever we put them on the graph, then that leads us to the perfect location of each and every thing, right? So let us go on to the next topic here, that is the Cartesian geometry. Let me erase this also. The next topic that we are going to understand now, that is the Cartesian system. Cartesian system. Okay. Cartesian system. What do you understand by the term Cartesian? Cartesian basically that means numbers, right? Cartesian basically means the numbers. So in general, if you say this Cartesian system as the number system, then that is no thing wrong with this term, that Cartesian system basically means the number system. And number system we have already studied in chapter 1, right? In chapter number 1 we started with the number system, and the most basic thing we started was the number line, right? Most basic thing that we started was the number line. What is number line, friends? Can you remember this? Right, number line basically it is a line, consisting of all the types of numbers present in the universe, right? It is a line consisting of all the types of numbers present in the universe. Suppose if I draw a line here with me, I am having a line here, friends, and on this line if I show you some numbers, that gives me the brief idea of the number system quickly, right? So in the center exactly we will have a 0. The 0 is basically when related. Let me first of all draw here all the numbers, right? We are going to write down the numbers in a distance of 1 up to plus infinite. Similarly, -1, -2, minus 3 up to minus infinite. So friends, for now I have written only the integers, right? I have written only the integers on the number line, which are located at a unit distance, not unique distance, unit, UNIT, unit distance. That means the distance between two numbers, that means distance between two numbers is 1, right? Unit distance friends, that means basically the distance between the two numbers is 1, right? So if I say that I have written all the integers here on the number line that has the numbers located at a unit distance from each other. So this is basically the number line. Now on this number line you can have some decimal numbers also, like 0.5, 1.5 and so on. You can also have some rational numbers, right? That is, if I want to say that is 5 by 2, then here you can also that will be 7 by 2 and so on. You will also have irrational numbers, that is in between 1 and 2 you will have root 2 and so on. So this all the numbers present, if we combine them on a single number, that is known as the number line. Okay, now for our purpose here what we are going to use is only right now only we shall use the integers, positive integers, negative integers and 0. So the numbers on the right side, these are known as the positive integers. The numbers on the left side are known as the negative integers, and the number at the center is the 0 itself, right? Now friends, if you see closely to this number line that we are having right now, then you will come to know that on this number line the numbers starts to originate on both the sides from 0. That on the right side of 0 we are having 1 2 3 4 5 2 up to infinite, and on the left side of the 0 we are having those exact numbers with a negative sign, right, with a minus sign. So the numbers starts to originate from the 0, right? Whenever you count anything you will start with 1, that means after 0, yes or no? So the numbers here are originating from 0, and hence this is known as the origin of the number line, origin of the number line. So whenever you will come to a word origin, at that time the first thing that must strike to your mind, that is 0. 0 basically is known as the origin of the number line. Is it clear friends? So this is right now the number line that is being written here with us, the number line that is being written here with only the integers, that has been written over here. Is it clear friends? So that is known as the number line here. Now we are going to look for some okay, let us understand this Cartesian system now. Whenever we are having these number line written over here, first of all here we understood about the number line. Now let me say that this number line that is being written over here with me is a horizontal one right now, right? Or let me erase this. Okay, let us erase this, and then we shall come to the main topic now, with that is the Cartesian system. We are going to understand about the Cartesian plane, friends. So that is very important for us to understand here. As we had the number lines drawn, okay, so here friends, I have drawn two lines, right, with the first one, that is a horizontal one. The first one, this is the horizontal line or horizontal number line, and the second one is a vertical. Now the horizontal number line is same as that of the number line that we drawn previously. So here that will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Here -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on, right? So these are the integers. Now let us name this number line, because in mathematics whenever you draw any line segment or ray, that must have a name, right? So on this here, let me write down x, and on the negative side let me write down x dash. X, capital X, friends, not small x, because small x will be a variable, and capital X dash. Now on the vertical number line, again we shall take 0. On the upper side we shall take the positive integers up to so on, and on the lower side we shall take the negative integers, right? So that is how the vertical number line goes. And again, if we name this as, on the upper side that will be plus y, and so not plus y, and on the lower side that will be y dash. So these are the two number lines, the horizontal number line, that is x dash, and the vertical number line that is y dash, right? So these are the two number lines that we are having, x dash and y dash. Now what the thing happens for the Cartesian system is that if we locate or if we move this vertical number line exactly on this horizontal number line, such that the origin, that means friends, as I said, origin that means the 0, and here also the origin is the 0, such that the origins of both the number lines, the vertical number line and the horizontal number line, overlap each other. That means this origin must match with this origin here, exactly same, right? So now the thing happens here that this vertical number line will come on the horizontal number line, such that these origins are going to match each other. And the thing now that happens is this. So friends, this was my horizontal number line and this was my vertical number line. Now friends, here I am going to match both the origins. You can perform this in the book also. I am going to match both the origins here. So on the positive side here will be 1, 2, 3, so on the negative side -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on the upper side of the origin 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on the lower side -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on, right? So this is the thing that happens here. Now if I want to see that what was this one, x, what was this one, y, what was this one, x dash, and what was this one was the y dash, right? Now you can see clearly that, friends, when both the vertical number line and the horizontal number line match each other at the origin, then that will give us a combined origin of the combined axis, of the combined number lines that is being formed here with vertical and horizontal mixed with each other at the origin, right? So this is now the origin of this axis or whatever the lines you see it, right? These thing that is being shown here in the sign of a plus, where the vertical and the horizontal number line combines each other at the origin, is known as the Cartesian plane. What is this known as, friends? This is known as the Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane, as I said, that this Cartesian means the numbers. You can clearly see that these lines contains the numbers, the basic definition of the number systems, the number line, right? And these numbers are being placed on the line such that they form a structure like plus sign, which will give us 4 different parts, and these 4 different parts are known as the parts of the Cartesian planes, right? They are known as the parts of the Cartesian plane. Now here, this was the horizontal and vertical axis, right? Now this here, the Cartesian plane has 4 axes. Axis, friends, what do you mean by axis? If I say that we have studied in science that Earth rotates on its own axis, that means it is an imaginary line on which the Earth rotates, right? That means that line is for reference. If I say that I am having a pen which rotates on its own axis, that means this will be imaginary line here that is being passed, and the pen rotates like this, right? But we are not going to talk about that axis there. We are going to talk about this here. Axis basically means the line, right? Basically means the line. You must know that axis means line, and a line here in the Cartesian plane we are having 4 lines. Can you see 4 lines here, friends? Yes or no? The 4 lines, as the Cartesian plane has 4 axes or 4 lines, the first one is OX, the second one is OY, the third one is OX dash, and the fourth one is OY dash. These are the 4 lines. OX, this is the first one, OY, this is the second one, OX dash, this is the third one, and OY dash, this is the fourth one. And these, all the lines that are being shown here has some unique names. That is OX, that is known as the positive x-axis. This is known as the positive y-axis. This is known as the negative x-axis, and this last one is known as the negative y-axis. So let me explain you again that from the very first, whenever we are having 2 number lines, one is a horizontal one and one is the vertical one, when we overlap these 2 number lines such that the origins of both the number lines meet each other at a unique point, at a single point. At that time, we get a structure somewhat like this. Friends, whenever these lines meet, you must know that the angle between these two lines must be perfectly 90 degree. Then and then they are going to form a Cartesian plane, else they will not form a Cartesian plane. So if you say that, sir, we can meet them at any way, but that does not form a Cartesian plane. The most important thing, that angle between the horizontal and vertical, angle between the lines is 90 degree, right? This is a must. Now here the common point or the common origin is known as the origin of this plane, and this plane has 4 axes, or it is divided into 4 different lines that are known as, the first one, OX. So this OX line, OX is known as the positive x-axis, line OY is known as the positive y-axis, line OX bar or OX dash is known as the negative x-axis, and line OY dash is known as the negative y-axis. Is it clear, friends? So this is known as the Cartesian plane, that is made up of Cartesian plane made up of 2 number lines, that is a horizontal and a vertical, made up of 2 number lines, a horizontal and a vertical, having or making an angle of 90 degree with each other. So this is the basic definition of the Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane is made up of, or it is a plane that is made up of 2 number lines, a horizontal and a vertical, making an angle of 90 degree with each other. Is it clear, friends? So that is basically about the Cartesian plane. Okay, now in the next lecture we are going to study about the parts of the Cartesian plane, and then we are going to locate the address of each and every point that is being available to us in the coordinate geometry. Is it clear, friends? So till here you might review the whole topic, and then if you feel like it is having any doubt, please mark it and do write down us in the comment section. Okay, friends?